telling you, man.
Hey fam, welcome back to yet another amazing episode of I'm Telling You. This time we are live and on location at Harper and Penny's in Lansdale. We have an amazing guest with us. His name is Jamal Harper. He's a very, very close personal friend of mine, as well as a phenomenal chef. So if you have not met this guy yet, let me introduce you to my man right now.
Yeah, I'm Jamal Harper. I don't know if I needed that type of...
Come on, man.
But I'll take it. You know what I mean? You take it where you can get it, right? Yeah, so I'm Jamal Harper, chef and owner of Harper and Penny's in Lansdale. Yeah, and me and Phil have been good friends for about 4 years now.
Yeah, probably, I mean, yeah, closer to 5 almost.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's been a while because I mean, yeah, you had your spot, which is still Harper and Penny's, but it was in Doylestown.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were in that nice little spot. You had like, I don't know, 30 some seats, big ass bar. It was nice. It was a good setup. It was quaint. It was enjoyable. You had good food as always and good drinks, and it was always a nice time. But yeah, we got introduced by one of our friends who's unfortunately no longer with us. Rest in peace, my friend. But yeah, Rich introduced us. Yeah. And then he was basically just like, hey man, you got to hook up with this guy. He's going places. He's doing things. This is the man you want to talk to. I was like, all right. And he kind of said the same thing about me. And then we started working together.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was, Round Guys with you. We were just bringing stuff in and getting back and forth and just, becoming friends.
Yeah. It kind of evolved the way it was supposed to. Yeah. From basically beer rep to trivia team partner, you know what I mean? Dominating the summer.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did dominate the summer. We were the team to beat. But
yeah, even when they cheated, we still got them.
Yeah. So from that, our friendship grew. And it got to a point where things were changing in the restaurant itself as far as the ownership and the partnership that I had at that point. And please understand, it was an amicable split, 100%. I still
all
love
love
my former partner.
Still all love.
Yeah, shout out to Lindsay Williams and Wycombe Vineyards.
Hell
right
yeah.
there, yeah, down there in Furlong. So check them out during the summer. It's a real good time down there. But from that, as we were changing, I was talking to Phil about having a satellite license come from Round Guys at that point, as we renegotiated the lease, which didn't turn out the way we wanted it to.
I mean, didn't it though?
Yeah, well, things happen for a reason, as they, I know it's an old adage, but it seems to be true most times. So that being said, not getting the lease, I just remember calling Phil and being like, yeah, I'm not going to need that because I got to look for a new spot. And very quickly, he was just like, let me call you back in like 5-10 minutes, and call me back in 5-10 minutes. And, Scott, who is the driving force behind Round Guys in the beginning, as far as the brew pub, and still one of the forces as far as the brewery goes. But
yeah, he is.
Yeah, he called Scott, and Scott was like, we're having a little issue with our kitchen, so why don't you come on up here and partner with us, and we'll figure all that out. So, it was a quick transition. We hit the ground running. So, I feel like it was supposed to happen the way it happened, and that's how we got here. Yeah, because we were here for a year, partnered with Scott and Derb. And as we went further in, they felt like they wanted to, just focus on the brewery. So then I took the reins of the place. So now we're Harper and Penny's featuring Round Guys, because we will still be utilizing Round Guys beer for sure. All right, because I know it's a staple in this town, and it's also a staple for our place. So.
Heck yeah, man. No, that's because when we were talking about partnering up the first time, I mean, it made sense because, I mean, you're just like us. We're about the community. We're about being amidst all of our people, being good to them and doing what's good for us and everything else. So it was just this, it was just a natural friendship that should have existed. And yeah, it unfolded that way. And I mean, it was a good deal because you said, you're just like, I mean, it didn't really work out the way we wanted to. I was like, I feel like it did though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the initial thought of what you were trying to do, that didn't work out. But, sometimes, the universe takes you down a path that you weren't thinking about. And sometimes you just got to go ahead and ride the wave and stop thinking about your level of control in it,
Yeah, pretty much. Just the the way things unfold sometimes, while it may not have been what you were picturing, you still kind of get to a place where it's like, well, I mean, that's kind of what I was going for anyway. So
you're making it to a space that you enjoy and you appreciate. And I mean, ultimately you were trying to get to a situation where you're in a community that you really want to be a part of, you know, in a community you want to serve and a community you like. You know?
That's important too.
And you know, it's not. There is no slight on Doylestown at all. I just think this is probably a better fit for us overall, with just who we are and how we like to move. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a way better fit for us overall. So I'm very grateful to have been put in this position and have this opportunity to grow in Lansdale.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing with you know, Round Guys. We're musically inclined. I mean, this is what we do. This is what we name our beers with and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, you're a hip hop head. I mean, you're a music guy. Period. I mean, you got freaking walking encyclopedia of music knowledge. But the fact that you're the same as us in that regard, but also that we want to take raw, good ingredients and make enjoyable things with it.
Yeah.
But then while also being good with our community.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It was a no-brainer to me to, you know, which is why I think you and I have become friends so well and lasted this long. And just, I mean, it just gets better and better. So
yeah. And it was just one of those things where, you know, when you walk into a new community, you're trying to figure out, you know, get your legs under you and figure out, you know, the personality of the community. And we've been fortunate that the regulars that we walked into were very, you know, accepting and helpful and, you know, just great people to be around as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? I don't know, maybe somebody else comes out of town and is like, jerk. But
Lansdale's a hell of a town, man.
Yeah,
I was never a big Lansdale guy myself, but coming here 10 years ago, I used to be in the kitchen, you know, so you're doing what I was doing, but I didn't have all the equipment and all the great stuff. So, I mean, I had to do a lot of really great things with very rudimentary tools, but coming here and being a part of Round Guys as a whole, dude, Lansdale's just a really dope town. There's some good ass people here.
Yeah. And I mean, there's plenty to do in Lansdale.
Yeah, there is.
I think we probably can do a better job at expressing that to the outside boroughs and outside townships.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It's just like, I mean, we have a lot here, not just Brown Guys and Harper and Pennies. I mean, we have Well Crafted up here. We also have Lansdale Tavern, which is a really great place. We have activities that you can do. We have an arcade. Arcade up here on Main Street.
Heck yeah, man.
We got Stove and Tap here if you want to do your fancy thing. We got the Sip and I believe it's Sip and Scents.
Yeah.
Right. And basically you can make cologne, perfume, candles, lotion, whatever you need to do. I mean, if that's something you want to do with your kids, something you want to do, a gift you want to give to your wife, however you want to do that. We got an escape room up here. Yeah. And we got other great food establishments up here too, like Cub Cow. You know, we got Thai Place here. We have a whole bunch of things up here that can be enjoyed in Lansdale. So I enjoy being here. I enjoy the type of people that are here. Like very blue collar, very regular person type things. You know what I mean?
Hardworking people.
Yes.
Down to earth.
And families, you know what I mean? That are hardworking families, very family oriented. We're very family friendly. And the town has just been great to me so far in the past year and a half. So I'm enjoying every step we're taking, and looking forward to like a lengthy stint here and growth.
Agreed.
And trying to get more into the community and build this community up so that, you know, Lansdalians don't have to leave. They don't have to leave. They want to stay home.
Yeah,
you know
man.
I mean?
Well, and that was the whole thing to why Round Guys, you know, Scott, you were talking about how he's the man of this. The whole reason why he picked this location to be in the center of town was because he wanted to be the hub of the community. He wanted to be in the midst of all of it.
Yeah.
You know, on days when it snows and everything else closes down, this place wouldn't close down. We'd be open and we'd be having food, and there'd be kids out on the street, like building snowmen and having snowball fights, and parents in here doing it. And it was a great community thing.
Yes. Snow days are great day drinking days, guys.
Yeah. Yes.
Just so we're clear, in case you didn't know that. All right.
You'll write that down.
Yeah, just a
little
PSA.
PSA. I'm doing you a favor. You're now aware of this.
Yeah, and also, we're trying to keep a music scene going on around here. We do that with the help of, the great Dave Heck.
Yeah.
Who promotes a lot of shows and puts a lot of shows together, not only for us, but for other places in town, Panicos, I believe Panicos, I believe he does Cannoneers. He does a lot of different places. So we have a thriving music scene up here too. So there's just so much to do. And all you really got to do is stay on, and I'm sure you're on social media. Just get on our social media so that you can know when these shows are going on all over Lansdale.
I'll be putting those links in the description and all that for you people.
Yeah, it's like we just want to pump this town up. Like take a chance and come on out here and check us out in Lansdale. And I guarantee you won't be disappointed. That's for sure.
I mean, between the food, the service, the community, and like you were saying with Dave, the music that he brings here, he gets stuff from out of town, but he also gets tons of local cats. I mean, there's been so many people that have literally gotten their break in this building, or when we used to be, across under there's the underground.
Yeah,
that we're always about that. We love our people. We love the art, specifically music, but we give tons of people their first break.
Yeah,
I mean, I literally just met this kid like 2 weeks ago. I was out doing some work and whatnot for us, and he's gonna be, I think, in on the 28th. And he was talking about how jazzed he was. This is the first show that they've played over out this way because they're all out in like Pittsburgh or something.
Yeah.
But he's from here. So for him to be in a band and now be able to actually play in his like hometown area.
Yeah, come home with it.
He was like, oh, but I mean, you could not. This kid was beyond next to himself excited about it.
Yeah.
Like the amount of shows he's done, and he's played in some great spots, and he's like, yeah, all that stuff is great and stuff, but...
Yeah, I would like to, everybody wants to do that hometown joint.
You're right.
I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want that? You know what I'm saying? Get a chance to display your skills in front of people, especially after you've probably honed it in Pittsburgh or wherever they're from. But hone the skills that some people thought you had in the first place, and then you come back a lot more polished and kick ass. I mean, you got to be excited about something like that, right?
Yeah, and this is a really decent venue for doing the music because of the overall size of the building. I mean, honestly, the acoustics, because there's tons of paneling in here and stuff. Yeah. There's, the right amount of walls. Plus, I mean, the way you guys engineer, we've always had good music and proper, engineering so that it sounds nice. You enjoy yourself.
Yeah, unless you're in the kitchen trying to listen to music while you're cooking. Yeah.
Well, that does happen.
Fortunately, I'm into the type of music that we get played here, so I'm not sure about my right arm, Nate.
Nate has an acquired taste, that is for sure.
Yeah, Nate might need he might have a different opinion about that, but
that's the thing that cracks me up is we could be here hanging out and you have standard music in the background, but anytime you catch like a break in between tracks or something like that, there's just always good stuff pumping out of the kitchen too. Yeah, well, so it doesn't matter where you're at in the building, there's always good music here.
Yeah, my love for music is it's essential, really. I don't know. I probably wouldn't have survived if I didn't have music and new music all the time. If I don't know if I could have even become, gotten to this position. You know what I mean? Like that was one of my biggest battles, like as a chef in kitchens that I'm working in.
Yeah, if you ain't got good music in there, man, that kills the mood.
I'm just saying one of the biggest battles was, I would have managers or bosses that would come to you and say, like, we should turn the music off during the hot times. And it's like, that's exactly when the music needs to be on.
Yeah.
Like the people that work with me.
Heck yeah, man.
I was like, that is when we're in our groove. And if that gets taken away, trust me, it's not going to be
It is not pretty
efficient. No, it's not. You're going to have a bunch of angry cooks back here.
Heck yeah, man.
Just frustrated and,
And that was always my thing is, because if you had whoever was running the kitchen, whether it was your head chef or your kitchen manager, or, the cook on duty, whoever the person was that got to call that.
Yeah.
Dude, if they didn't do that shit right, it was a horrible night. You hated it.
Yeah.
When so-and-so was working, you're like, oh, shit. Yeah. Now I'm be listening to Yanni all night. Nothing against Yanni, but like, that doesn't do well for cooking.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, I always tried to be, like, for me, being the boss is not one of those things, like, in my brain. Like, I'm not a guy that's in the kitchen, like, you need to say yes, chef. It's like
Yeah, you're not like drill sergeant shit.
Yeah, like honestly, and this is just me. I don't like even try to understand or presume to know why some people want to be called chef all the time. But for me, it's just like I want anyone that's working with me to understand that, yeah, I might be the boss. That's a given. But what I don't have to do is walk around with it on my waist like, I'm the WWE champion. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not that type of thing. My thing is we're teammates and I can't do this without you. So I want you to be as happy as I am while we're working. So I've always made it available for, especially when I was young, working with younger people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when you're working with younger people and you're training them how to be in the kitchen for long periods of time.
Hey, man, you want to give them good knowledge.
Yeah, you want to give them good knowledge, but you also want them to have the opportunity to express themselves when it comes to food.
Hells yeah.
As well as music. You know what I mean?
Dude, they go hand in hand, man. They're both arts.
Like in that kitchen.
They both invoke emotion.
Yeah, and you want them to be able to express themselves in that music. I'm older. I'm 52 now. So,
he admitted that on camera, man.
There were times where, you got to get through the mumble raps so that your young bucks can do what they got to do. But there's some mumble rap dudes.
Yeah, I know.
There was some, there's a no Drake rule. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Right.
There's a no Drake rule. Nothing against Canadians. I love Canadians. But,
we love Canadians, just not.
Yeah, just no. I don't even dislike Drake. It's just I'm not a Drake guy, and there's a no Drake rule in my kitchen. I don't want to hear Drake in my kitchen.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, it's not my cup of tea, man. Like Beyonce, Beyonce is phenomenal. Just not into her. She's not my style. But
I'll take a Solange all day. I'll take her sister all day. You know what I mean? I will. Like I listen to Solange way more than I've ever listened to Beyonce. So
some people, they just got it. I don't, whether it's their tone or the music or the combination, it's just, there's some artists, while they are phenomenal at what they do, it's just not my cup of tea, man.
Yeah. The real thing is when it comes to anything, you just got to be true to yourself. It's like, I'm not saying by any means that Drake is garbage. I'm not saying by any means that I don't like Beyonce.
Yeah, of course.
But if given the choice, no Drake and more Solange.
More Solange. I need more cowbell and more Solange.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just an opinion thing, you know what I mean? And that's fine, yeah.
Well, yeah, because, going to what you were just saying about how you don't want to be called chef. Any restaurants that I've had, whether I was the head chef or not, any of my cooks, any of my leads, anybody who was running shifts or running the crews, when I walked into that kitchen, I addressed them as chef. Yeah. But that was a respect thing to them so that others would see it and hopefully in turn give that to them. Yeah. So when they would bark orders, not being dick about it, but just like, hey, shit's got to get done. I need this, I need that. Drop 2 of these. They're going to go, yes, chef. And then whether they actually say it, they're going to have that attitude. Yeah. So I always did it as just a respect thing. But yeah, you come into my kitchen and start calling me chef, I'll be like, who you? I don't know. We good.
Because I was like, that was like the immediate thing when I got here in the first place. It was like,
you were telling me.
Yeah, it was just like, how you doing, chef? And, Jamal, it's fine.
Jamal was very well
good with Jamal, Jay, Maul, whatever. But no,
anything but chef.
Yeah, it's like no Drake rule, no chef rule.
I think those are good rules.
I'm sorry, Drake. I'm not trying to, smash you. I think you've had a long 2 years. So, especially after that performance in Toronto the other night. Feel better, bud.
But that's, because you are very serious. You take what you do with all heart and passion, but you keep the levity, you keep the energy high. Like you always make, like you were saying, you got to take care of your young bucks and all that. Like, I don't know anybody that doesn't respect you. You know what I mean? That's hard to find people that you can say that about. There's not a lot of people in this world where, they might hate on you, but they still got respect for you.
Yeah. Hopefully you can carry that, that throughout your life, because not everybody's going to like you, but if you can get a level of respect out of just about anybody, that's all you can ask for. And I'm not, I don't know. I'm just getting older and I know what I have to do. And I know the people around me respect me, and I feel like that's good enough. That's good enough for me. The people that are on my team, I respect them. They respect me, and we do good things together. And as far as like the seriousness when it comes to food, it's really just a thing of I want to be good at it. I want to be good at what I do, and I also want people to be happy when they leave here. You know what I mean? And it's not even if they leave here. It's like, you know, last Saturday, my daughter graduated from high school. Congratulations to you, Micah. Very proud of you. But, you know, I had to do food for that, you know, and even when you're feeding, you know, like that same feeling that you have about pleasing your crowd, that's even bigger when it comes to feeding your family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I think that's where the love of cooking comes from. In most instances, is some sort of family connection to it. You know, I have a grandfather, you know, God rest his soul, who cooked on the Amtrak trains in the 40s. You know what I mean? My father has always been the resident cook for all of his friend groups. You know what I mean? Just last night, he was like, yeah, I got to go do a fish fry.
I got you. I do.
Yeah, I got to go do this fish fry over here. You know what I mean? So, like, the passion of it, like, it was not a thought in my mind that I would be a chef. That was not really a thought in my mind. Like, you when I'm growing up, that you know.
Yeah,
like,
no, agreed.
Yeah, it was, you know, like.
I mean, I'm good at it. I enjoy it. I love seeing people happy. Like,
not even that. It was just a point of that wasn't. You didn't think that was a career. You know what I mean? You knew people were back there cooking when you went out.
Yeah.
Right, but you almost don't know the path to it. You know what I mean? Like, I was born in 72, so like I didn't know any chefs that worked in the restaurant. I didn't know any of that. You know, I was fortunate enough that girlfriend that I had, you know, her brother owned a restaurant.
Okay.
And it was just a random day. I was going to play basketball, and he fired someone.
Yeah, that happens in the restaurant industry.
And she said, I need you to work tonight. And I was like, doing what? She's like, waiting tables. And I'm just like, I have never done that before. And she was like, it's easy. Don't worry about it. Come with me. So I did. I went and I started my career as a server, and then moved to bartender, and you know what I mean? And then it was just kind of like a natural progression where you're in this career for a long time. Like, I was in it for a long time, had been a GM, all of those types of things. And I worked for so many people that, you know, I'm trying to figure out a way to get on my own.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm the GM of a restaurant at that point in Doylestown. And I remember just thinking to myself, I have to like go full circle. I need to know everything. So I called another friend of mine. Like, I left that job, called my other friend who happened to be a chef at a country club. And I was like, I need to come over there. And he was like, all right. He goes, just, you know, you got to keep up. And I'm like, don't worry about it. So I came in there and I literally learned all the basics from him. He was classically trained out of France. So I learned all the basics from him. And then you go study yourself. Like, you go buy cookbooks, and you go read cookbooks, and then you go buy your own ingredients while you're working. And then you start playing with food, which is always fun. So you start playing with food, you start playing with dishes, you start doing things, boom, 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 boom. Next thing you know, you're like, okay, well, how do I get on my own? And you know, like, from that country club, that was the catalyst of it, because you're doing all of this catering. You know,
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, you're learning how to do these things in large masses,
yeah.
Right? So you're learning all that stuff, right? So you know you can do it on a small scale. Now you're learning how to do it on a big scale. So what's your way out, Jamal? You can't just go buy a restaurant, right? like not right out the gate, right? So my thought was, I'm going to start a small catering company, and I'm going to start out doing kids' parties. So I'm going to do it real novelty style, like, you know, gourmet hot dogs and
gourmet hot dogs.
Yeah, gourmet hot dogs and grilled cheese. So you keep the kids happy and you keep the adults happy. If they got to eat hot dogs, make sure you have some fancy stuff for them. You know what I mean? So that's how we started. And then I started moving into more parties. Fortunately, I had family and friends that were very supportive. My Aunt Denise, immediately from the first time she tasted my food, I remember it was summertime. We were down in the Outer Banks, and my father, like I said, normally does all the cooking.
Yeah.
But I'm not really a beach guy.
Okay.
So while everybody's on the beach, he would normally have to come back and start cooking everything and prepping everything. And this trip, I just decided I don't want to be on the beach.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and stay in the air conditioning, and I'm gonna start prepping all the food. So that's what I did. And you know, the normal progression of the week when you're on vacation, it's like all of those meals, you try to turn them into lunch.
Right, man.
So when I started doing that type of stuff, it's like, then it got real creative.
Yeah.
And once my aunt ate that stuff, she's like on a board for Rutgers Business School in New Jersey. And she used to have a scholarship dinner for a new recipient. And she gave it to me. She gave it to me, and I did that for 7 years, and that led to other jobs. And, you know, so I'm going all the way to New Jersey for this from Pennsylvania. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then I just, you know, from that, people started to see it, and then they started saying, hey, man, my kid's got a graduation. You know, can you do this? My kid's birthday party, whatever it is. And you just pieced it together. And I had a lot of luck. I have a great family. You know, my father-in-law has been very instrumental in my success, and I can't say enough about him and the sacrifices that he makes in order to help me succeed. As well as someone else that I should give a shout out to is a man named Keith Blaylock. All right, because Keith Blaylock, he owns the tap room in Doylestown. He also used to own Soup and Seafood, which most people know if you've been in Doylestown eating. He now owns the Plumsteadville Inn, or Plumsteadville Pub, as well as the tap room. And that man really helped to facilitate my success through just being generous. Like, I mean, how many bosses do you know that you work for full time that allow you to use their catering equipment in their kitchen and off hours so that you could basically set yourself up to leave them?
Yeah. That's good people, man.
It's a very rare thing.
Yeah, it is.
You know, big shout out to Keith Blaylock, man, and Chad Reedney. You guys did great by me overall. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful for all of those opportunities I was given to get here. You know what I mean? And that's you know, you gotta go ahead and always look back and appreciate the people that actually helped you get here. And I think some people forget that sometimes. But you really have to say thank you to the people that supported you and helped you take that step. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, that's what I was saying when we first started putting this together. And I don't even mean just here, like in general, like us being us. It's just this has been a long time coming, and it's something that has to be. I'm pretty sure. I guess that's the timer on some stuff, man.
No, actually, it's my wife. So I sent her a voicemail, and then here she comes back.
Apparently, it's important, calling. Man.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we should probably go ahead and wrap this up so you can take care of some family stuff and get on your way. But yeah, so you gotta go ahead and do the dates again and all that. So I mean, I'll put it all in the.
I also want to make sure I thank Phil. You know, Phil has helped a lot to get here. He supported me a whole lot. You know what I mean? Held me down in times where it was a little choppy. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you for that also. And I also want to say thank you to Miss Rachel Chauncey. She has been awesome to me from the moment I walked in this building. She has been instrumental to the success of this place long before I was here, and she will continue to be while I'm here. And, you know, just letting you know, we're going to do a grand reopening on the 27th of June. So it'll be a weekend event, 27th, 28th, 29th. We're going to do some raffles. We got a great show coming on that day. We got music bingo that night with Cali Couture, which is always fun.
Heck yeah.
So, you know, come on down and see me. Come on down and see Rachel Chauncey and let her make you some cocktails and come meet the whole staff. Hang out a little bit.
You know, what's funny is when you were shouting out Rachel, I could actually hear her in the background throwing the shaker.
Yeah.
Like,
this is what I do.
It is. And she loves it and she's great at it. But you have a great crew. I mean, I can't even call him your number two, man. He's your number one. He really is. He's literally your left hand.
Yeah.
I mean, Nate is dope. You have phenomenal people around you, but I think that speaks volumes as to who you are and what you do.
Well,
you know, because you don't get to be at that status by treating people like shit.
Yeah.
And not supporting and taking care of people. And just like you said, you got to give that respect back. So the fact that you've had those opportunities, you in turn are giving them to others, and you support it. You know, that whole pay it forward.
Yeah.
And it just, you know, people like you are rare in this world, and I'm glad that you're more, you know, one of my best friends, bro.
Yeah, I'm glad to be that.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, my brother.
Nice.
Thank you for this time.
Yeah, dude. Hey, you said you want to do something, so I said we're gonna throw it together. We're gonna put this on. This will be out before the event pops, and we're gonna pop it up everywhere, and we're gonna see some stuff. So,
All right.
yeah, man, this is first of many and some cool stuff. But
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Anything else you want to say to the people? Or
We will see you on the 27th, 28th, and 29th. We will have raffles and prizes, so come through, try to win some stuff, man. And also, let's not forget about 3 weeks out of the month, second, third, and fourth Tuesday of each month is Philly D's Trivia.
You're giving me a shout out on my own show. I love that
right.
shit, bro.
That's right, because we have fun with that too. So come on
Hell
through
yeah,
and
dude.
check
We're
us
trivia
out.
cats. We got to do that.
Yeah, come on out and check us
Yeah,
out.
man.
A little fun.
Yeah, fam. This has been a live on location at Harper and Penny's in Lansdale with my man, Mr. Jamal Harper. I appreciate you all taking time to watch us, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you when that time comes. But as we always finish stuff off, you know, be good to yourself, be good to everything else.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Cheers.